everybody, this is Keith Gleason from Indie Comics Relay, back with another comic review. This week, before I get started, I just want to let you know that Mighty Mascots number 4 is going to be part of the Alterna Comics pre-order Indiegogo campaign. It's going to be launching on the 22nd of September. It's going to be a really great crowdfunding campaign. You can get 10 new issues for $25 with the shipping, which is amazing. And one of the books that's going to be offered is Mighty Mascots number 4. So if you missed my earlier campaign, here's your chance to get the new issues along with all the other Alterna creators that are launching books in these next 2 months. There's some great stuff here. So check that out, Indiegogo.com. It's called the Alterna Comics Pre-Orders Fall 2021 campaign. You can sign up now and get a secret perk when they launch the campaign. So check that out. Other things, Beard Zerker is done. I've done lettering. I've sent that off to Don Chin. He's going to start putting that together. I think they're going to be launching or sending to the printer this week. I'm also going to be lettering Spells and Superheroes soon from Mark Mulgrave, better known as Ginge Gingerton. Ginge Gingerton. Sorry, I messed that one up. But yeah, so check that out soon. All right, without further ado, let's get to this week's review. This week I am reviewing Echolands number 1. This is by Image Comics. The creative team on this is co-creators and co-writers are J.H. Williams III and W. Haden Blackman. Artwork is by J.H. Williams III. Colors are by Dave Stewart. Todd Klein is the letterist on this. And Drew Gill is credited as additional design. So this book is a new one from Image. I had no idea this was coming out. I happened to actually be in the comic store this weekend just to take a look around. I had no idea I was going to pick anything up because I usually keep track of things coming out that I'm interested in, but I totally missed this one. So it's basically an interesting mashup of fantasy and sci-fi. J.H. Williams and Haden Blackman have come up with this really cool fantasy world. It's basically about this girl who seems to be a thief. And, in the first issue, we get to know a little bit of her, but most of the first issue is a lot of action. So we find out early in the issue that she stole some kind of gem from this evil wizard that is sort of like almost like an emperor conqueror kind of type that you get from like the descriptions. The first issue, she is kind of running for her life. I'm like paging through it right now. And then she also has a friend who's like a barbarian type named Core. And her name is, let me see, I forget what it was. I believe it's Red. Yeah, let me see. I believe it's Red. What was I going to say? So her friend Core is sort of like a barbarian type. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. Her name is Hope. I'm sorry. I thought it was Red. The reason I'm confused is like she seems to be a wizard, and one of her powers when she said the word red in issue 1 and messed up a bunch of guys with it. But I don't want to get too much into I don't want to give away too much spoilers here. It's a very interesting setup. I think I'm going to need a couple more issues just to see where the story's going. But this is really cool. I highly recommend it. I mean, for just artwork alone, If you're a fan of J.H. Williams the third, and you may not know the name off the bat, but he worked on a comic called Promethea with Alan Moore back when Alan Moore was doing America's Best Comics back in like I think that was early 2000s, somewhere around that time period, because I think I was still at working at the comic store at that time when that was coming out. And he also did when the New 52 started with DC Comics, and towards the end of before the New 52, he was working as the artist on Batwoman with Greg Rucka. And then when the New 52 started, he took over as both the writer and the artist on that book. And that is some incredible stuff. I don't know. I know Batwoman is kind of one of those characters that people either love or hate. She's kind of, I know the TV show is not doing great and all that kind of stuff. But when J.H. Williams was doing the series, it was incredible. I mean, the artwork alone is, his comics are worth buying just for the artwork. I'm not usually an artwork guy. Like I like the merging of both. I love the merging of words and pictures, but J.H. Williams does both really well. The other interesting thing about this book is it's stapled on, going the long way, or like I guess a panoramic view, I would say. I've only seen a handful of books are made this way. Usually I used to see it on Image on like Liberty Meadows, the Frank Cho book, and I think PvP used to do this book. Basically, it's like a comic book turned sideways, like a horizontal view. But it really works for the artwork. I mean, like he does these long, spread out pages that flow from left to right all the way across, the entire spread. And the thing I really like about J.H. Williams' artwork is there's a lot of thought put into the panel design and how it it works with the entire storyline. It's amazing. Like to give you an example, I don't know if I can find this page online, but I'll put it up if I do. There's a page where one of the characters one of the villains is trying to send out she sends out her eyeball as like almost like a a security drone, and over the page you can see the other characters are off in another location talking, but you see this eye drone going over every panel, and kind of like it traces a path from one side of the page to the other, just to kind of keep you, keep reminding you that this character is looking for, for hope. Really, really great stuff. So the other thing I liked is the cover's kind of thick. It's very like almost like that prestige format, kind of like format, or like stock, for the cover. And it was a typical, I think I counted the pages, it was about 24 pages of comic story. The book was $5, $4.99, worth every penny. In the back, they have a lot of cool extras. Like there, how I love extras. So there's an excerpt from one of the a magazine from this universe, where they interview the villain named Taros Demond, who's supposed to be like a wizard, but also like I guess sort of like a monarch type. And that's the character that the gem was stolen from. There's like a formal interview with him, and then they try to put like ads in the back, like fake ads, and like there's even a comic strip from this like fake newspaper or magazine. And then there's an afterword by Haden Blackman and J.H. Williams III talking about this book. The interesting thing, I read both of their afterwards, and I believe Haden Blackman, if I'm not mistaken, worked on a short-lived Elektra book from Marvel that was really excellent. I remember buying those and thinking that was just an above average comic. Like, just artwork and writing was top notch on that. If you can find that run, it's amazing. Highly recommend it. But anyways, they both talked about about making this book. One thing I've noticed lately, like one of the trends happening in comics, is it seems to be a lot of fantasy books dropping, just in the indie circles and then also on the mainstream. And I thought maybe this was the case with this book, but definitely not. These guys have been trying to make this book for at least 15 years from the looks of it. They both started talking when I think J.H. Williams was on Prometheus. So that goes back to, that's even more than 15 years. It's about 20 years, I think. But yeah, they just talked about their passion, how they've always wanted to do this book, and how working together was a big deal and things like that. And how they've been sidetracked, this and that, and all different things, life getting in the way. But they finally released the book, and it sounds like J.H. Williams has almost done the 6th issue from what he was saying in the back. So that's awesome. That tells me that, this book's not going to be late. So I was really happy, and this was such a pleasant surprise. Because the funny thing is, I was talking to a friend this weekend about J.H. Williams. We were talking about how those old Batwoman comics were freaking amazing, and like that we hadn't seen them, and we didn't know what happened to him after that book. I mean, I remember that there was a controversy with Batwoman at the end there, like when DC put their foot down about letting her get married to her lesbian girlfriend, which is kind of funny because the fact that they put their foot down and said that could not happen in the book. Now flash forward to today, I bet they would they would put their foot down to make that happen in the book. It's so weird how like there's less than 10 years difference there, and like and how things would change. But anyways, that's me going off on stupid political stuff. But the point of my story was that me and my buddy were talking about J.H. Williams, and we're like, where the hell did this guy go? He's so talented. And I figured he went off into, to do video games or something like that. But no, when I walked in to the store this weekend and saw this book, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh, nice. New J.H. Williams. So I'm a big fan. I think, probably the one critique I could give the storyline is it's not much happens outside of a person trying to escape, basically. The whole issue is somebody running away almost. You got little drips and drab of the story there, but this would have probably been a better, like maybe like a 48-page starting, I don't know, like, but who am I to say? But like, it's good enough that you'll like it, you'll love the art, and then you will also, I think, be hooked enough to continue reading it. So I'm adding this instantly to my pull list, and I want to get the entire series for however long this goes. They didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about how long they're going to run the series, but definitely check it out if you like a sci-fi or if you like fantasy, because it's a merged world with those kind of ideas. And also, for some strange reason, when I was reading it, it reminded me a little bit of Dark City, that movie Dark City, because they mentioned how like the city changes and moves around, and all I can think about was that in Dark City, with those guys changing the city around and things like that. So I don't know if that was a little bit of an influence, but I don't know. But anyways, highly recommend this. Check it out. And if you haven't read J.H. Williams' Promethea or his Batwoman run with Greg Rucka and then with by himself, seek those out. They're amazing. Or even just look at some of the artwork online. Unbelievable stuff. All right. That's it for this week's review. As always, join us on the live streams every Wednesday. We always have indie creators on. And then if you like the video, like, share, subscribe. That's always helps us grow. We want to get bigger and reach more indie comics fans and promote our love of this, crazy genre. All right, guys, have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.